Hi, I'm Eric, and everyone loves a good comeback story. Robert Downey Jr., The Cinderella Man, The Dark Knight Rises. These are great movies, and they always start with the main character being at their lowest point, and then they get back up again and they succeed. It's a classic trope, but one to love. But when it comes to video games and the whole world that surrounds that, it's quite interesting. 2015, or in other words, the year Nintendo flopped. And it was all his fault. Now, it wasn't just the year of Luigi's fault. No, it was more the Wii U's fault in general. From its release to the end of its lifespan, the Wii U is not a best-selling console. It brought a lot of financial ruin to Nintendo during this time, as then CEO Satoru Iwata took a pay cut of around 50% around 2014, when the Wii U was just not selling enough units. The Wii U nowadays is not the worst console, but it's still not the best console. But why exactly did it not do so good? For starters, the name Wii U. Most consumers saw this as just another version of the Wii and just simply passed on it. They probably shouldn't have named it that, as it was already turning away the already casual market. I remember as a kid just thinking it was a different version of the Wii, like how the Wii Mini was. So that wasn't really the smartest marketing for a new console. Next came the games. Yeah, Wii U games were not really the best, but there were some hidden gems in there. But I mean, for every Amiibo Festival and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, you did get yourself a nice cup of Pikmin 3 with the side of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. But still, why did it fail? This one Nintendo decided should be the pack-in title. Nintendo Land. Most third-party developers like EA and Ubisoft didn't want to release or make games on it anymore, as it just wasn't making them any money. And because of this, it had less games come out on the system. The full North American Wii U library is only around 208 games, which is almost nothing compared to the Wii's 1,500 plus library. Granted, most of the Wii's library is filled with just a ton of shovelware. But hey, at least those are games. Shovelware just didn't feel the same on the Wii U. You just know a console's not selling great if even the shovelware developers are steering clear. And to really take a stab at it, the Wii U is just not the console to have in the market next to the PS4 and Xbox One. These were next-gen systems with crazy graphics for the time. The Wii U was underpowered, and with that, underperformed. It would have been a better idea to release this before the next generation of consoles launched. You know, when people were still fighting over if the PS3 or the Xbox 360 was better. Instead, we got a big bag of nothing with a cool-looking tablet controller. But maybe that controller's just the key they need. What if this was the system? E3 2016. Nintendo's new system called the NX had a ton of rumors surrounding what it could possibly be, with many trying to guess what it could possibly look like too. And on October 20th of that same year, it was shown off. It was unveiled, being named the Nintendo Switch. I love Robert Downey Jr. The Switch launched later on September 3rd, 2017, and it was a humongous hit, with 2.74 million units selling within its first month of the market worldwide, making it the fastest selling Nintendo home console ever, making it a shining success already to Nintendo. People around the world were excited and eager to dive into this new system, and it was showing. As of now, the Switch has sold over 152.12 million units, making it the third best-selling console of all time. But the Switch itself didn't achieve this success. It was everything else around it. When you look at the Switch, you just kind of want to have one. Like, how could you not want this? The Switch was a hybrid console. Being both portable and home, that was really a game changer, and it definitely stuck it out in the open for its competition. Being able to play your favorite games on the go anywhere and at home was a breeze and amazing. It definitely made the casual market enjoy it. The Wii U had the gamepad controller, but you still need the system to make it work. With the Switch, the whole damn thing was a system. I myself really enjoyed playing it portably a lot. I like Balatro. The marketing for the Switch was also leagues better than whatever the heck the Wii U was doing.
Yeah, look like I've been upgraded.
Woshi. It's a double Yoshi explosion.
What? Oh, it is time for Wii U.
Hot button popcorn, that's a deal. Yeah.
Who listens to this ad and goes, I should probably go buy a Wii U? No! They go, I'm going to go and buy a 3DS because that actually has worth to it. Nintendo being sure to keep this system its own thing is also a great thing, as it really differentiated itself from everything else Nintendo has ever made. Nintendo was also swinging their bat in every direction when it came to game releases, as so many Nintendo IPs got either a new game, a sequel, or a sort of reboot during this generation. As so many different games came out, it really shows just how much value Nintendo put into the system, with 67 new games releasing onto the system, spanning over 38 different franchises. The games were a big key to driving sales and driving success, as most day one buyers were very interested in playing either The Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, both of which are great and amazing games. Mario Odyssey was a great game as it truly did show what a 3D Mario could look on a newer and better console. And then Breath of the Wild was a great Zelda, practically being upgraded from its Wii U counterpart. Nintendo has built itself as a company not trying to push graphics, but by pushing gameplay. With so many modern games these days trying to make each new big game look more and more realistic, Nintendo seems to stick with the goofy, fun, gameplay-driven games. The charm of Mario Odyssey and Animal Crossing have you really looking into their core. Sometimes Nintendo's goofiest games and weirdest ones are the most enjoyable. But back to the games, 2D Mario got an amazing comeback, with Mario Wonder taking the series into a new light, and The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which some say is the best Zelda game ever, got a sequel with Tears of the Kingdom, which was very anticipated and definitely delivered on the wait. Metroid returned with a bang, with both a return to the 2D format, as well as both a Metroid Prime Remastered, and finally a Metroid Prime 4. The world has been saved! Many RPG Mario games got the remaster or remake treatment with both Mario RPG, I loved that game, so dang good, and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door both being remade for the Switch, with both getting much needed facelifts, taking both games and giving them gorgeous upgrades. I haven't beat that one yet, but it's cool. Nintendo Switch Sports joined the court, even if it wasn't as good as some were hoping, but it did fill that empty void Wii Sports Club left in us all. Mario sports games filled every corner on the field, with Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, and Mario Strikers all coming out, even if Strikers was not the best game. The only absence of Mario sports games was baseball, but I guess it's a bit hard to top a game as great as Super Sluggers on the Wii. Splatoon became a trilogy, with every game installment improving on each other. Pikmin got a second chance, with practically every Pikmin game being available on the Switch. Like every Pikmin game is available on the Switch. Maybe I should give the little guys a chance sometime. Nintendo was thriving to a point in which they had multiple Wii U games get a second chance at life, with many of them being re-released as a deluxe version. And out of them all, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe became the 5th highest selling game of all time, right under Wii Sports. Crazy to think that Mario Kart 8 could have been a hidden failure in the Mario Kart series, but now it's one of the most played Mario Karts ever, with a ton of DLC to go through like the booster packs, which comes with so many new maps. When it comes to Smash Bros., Smash Ultimate became the highest selling game in the whole series, as it was the biggest Smash game ever, with the biggest roster ever. So many gaming tournaments will most likely always include both Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Smash Ultimate, just because how popular these games are. Nintendo released so many great games during this generation, but there's always bound to be a couple of stinkers. Third-party support was crazy. At most, many different games are releasing on Switch, but didn't run just as well as their other console counterparts. Heck, some third-party games didn't even come on a full cartridge. Some just came on a slip of paper. But instead of the AAA side of games, how did developers fare in this console that were a little bit more indie? The Switch was also easy to develop on when it came to indie games. The Switch became a diverse library for so many different genres, with many indie games being released on the Switch, with many even being something I love sinking so many hours into without even realizing it. So many new experiences got started on the Switch, so many developers got success by just how big the player base was on it. I enjoy playing indie games a lot. I'm a big indie game fan. It just lets me see a side of the gaming world most don't see, and I also just love playing obscure games. The Nintendo Switch was like the indie game machine, as it felt like anything could possibly run on it. And I mean like anything could possibly run on it. It could run Glover! I beat Hotline Miami on this system. I never thought I would beat a game as violent as Hotline Miami on a Nintendo system, but here we are. There are so many different games I bought simply as I just saw myself playing them more on my Switch than any other system I owned. My personal Switch has currently become my Ballatra hub at the moment, because that's really all I enjoy playing whenever I have free time. Oh, crap. But back to what I was saying earlier. The Switch was truly a great step into the future for Nintendo, that they made slightly different variations of the system to get more sales going. With the release of both the Switch Lite and the Switch OLED, I myself don't own a Switch Lite, but it was viewed as more of a budget Switch, or something you could give to your kid to introduce him to video games, while the Switch OLED was just a beauty to look at. With a pretty awesome screen and taking smaller issues with the Gen 1 Switch, the OLED helped fix any sort of issues the original may have had. I own the Red Mario Edition Switch OLED, and I am very much happy with it. I play it at least once a day, though it's usually just Balatro. I really like Balatro. In March of 2020, the world was taken over by the COVID-19 pandemic, and everyone was told to stay inside. And on March 20th, Animal Crossing New Horizons released, and with people looking for something to do during this time, sales exploded. People were buying Switches left and right, and also with many copies of Animal Crossing. It may have been Animal Crossing, but who knows, the pandemic really did help sales. With the Switch 2 so close now, it makes the Switch 1 feel like such a powerhouse. The Switch was the push Nintendo really needed to survive. Sure, the 3DS was there throughout most of the Wii U's life and death, and it kept Nintendo afloat, but it was just not enough. But now, with just how much better of a track Nintendo's been on, it's safe to say they're going to be just alright. But $80 Mario Kart is just a little bit stupid in my opinion. Nintendo, you guys had a great comeback. It would really suck to have another Wii U situation. Why do we have $80 Mario Kart? The Wii U was definitely a bad step in Nintendo's life. But they fixed themselves. Just as the Wii did after the GameCube and N64, the Switch helped keep Nintendo alive, but also helped them push further. The Switch was something Nintendo really did need, and it was a very, very good comeback. With the Switch 1 soon exiting the spotlight, makes you wonder how the Switch 2 is going to really do. I always thought they're going to call it the Switch U, but I could kind of see why that would not be the best idea now.